One last thing in the last verse of chapter 7. It says, having said all this, he went to heaven. It doesn't say that. Well, I wasn't going to say he went to hell because we're going to think he's a good guy. He fell asleep. Now, we know he didn't just go to sleep, like he didn't wake up later. But fell asleep is a term for death in Scripture. Going to go sleep with your ancestors. It's sleep. When you're asleep, you're not alive, like functioning. You're alive or you're existing in some form, but you're not aware of what's going on in the outside world. So it's not like people that are dead are aware of everything happening in the outside world. They may dream. There may be something going on because that element that's you, that's left the body, I believe is stored in like some giant, heavenly hard drive place, okay? We talk about information being stored in the cloud. Well, this is the ultimate cloud. Because that part that's you has to be stored somewhere to be put back into a resurrected you. That's the part that's stored. But it doesn't, according to Scripture, have any awareness while it's asleep. It's just asleep. And now this is after the resurrection. This is after Yeshua died and is resurrected. And now it talks about he's asleep. You would have thought that clearly they would have said, and having smiled and seen the heavenlies, he went right to heaven. No. Matter of fact, after Acts, eventually we get to Hebrews, where it says, all these, Abraham and Noah, all the heroes died having not received the promises, but are waiting for everybody else. They're asleep. Oh no, we were told lots of things. Okay? Anybody ever tell you anything turned out to be wrong? Come on. Anybody in high authority that you thought knew what they were talking about, did it turn out they were wrong? Absolutely, all the time. So don't just go by all that. We're reading it straight here. Master, do not hold the sin against them, and having said this, he fell asleep. We know he died. But we're to be understanding that to him it was like being asleep because he's going to wake up from that sleep in the resurrection. And to him, it will be like he was asleep. Will he dream? I don't know. Not all of us ever, dream all the time. But it won't seem like however long, he's been dead for a long time. He was dead 2,000 years. But to him, it won't seem like that. Just like when you sleep, it doesn't matter if it's an hour or 10 hours, it still feels the same as far as time. You may be more or less tired to know you didn't sleep as long, but you don't have any idea how long you slept. Okay? There's times I've woken up really totally rested and realized I only slept 4 hours. I caught the cycle just right. I had to look at the clock to figure it out. Stephen's going to get resurrected and be like, oh my gosh, it's been 2,000 years plus. Okay? Seemed like just a few hours. He was just asleep. You can argue all you want. You're going to go to like Lazarus and the rich man, those other things. Those are not about what happens when you die. The church taught you it was, but it's not. Here's an actual person, not a parable, an actual person dying. And it says they went to sleep, okay? There are actual verses that say, the dead know nothing, okay? They're not watching you, hanging out over your shoulder, smiling down or disappointed with all the nonsense you're doing.